Clickbait sucks. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Now, I hate clickbait, you hate clickbait, and everyone on the internet hates clickbait. It's pretty much the internet equivalent of Slippy Toad from Star Fox 64. It's completely useless and provides no tangible benefits whatsoever. The people that use clickbait are not trying to enrich you with useful, accurate information. Their goal is to find ridiculous nonsense to write articles about and then create the most outrageous sensationalist headlines to get you to click on them. And that's it. And despite the fact that clickbait is the internet equivalent of cancer, it is more popular and widespread than ever. Now, this is a rant that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and now I feel it's the perfect time to talk about it. So let's talk about the cancer that is clickbait. Now, in my opinion, there are three different types of clickbait. There is pointless clickbait, deceptive clickbait, and desperate clickbait. And we're going to go through all of it, and we're going to list multiple examples of all the types of clickbait. Boy, this is going to be fun, so let's get started, shall we, Space Rangers? What better place to start in the wonderful world of clickbait than Gizmodo, which is the flagship blog of the Gizmodo Media Group, which was born from the ashes of Gawker Media. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. That should really give you an indication of the shit we have to wade through in this episode. Anyways, they published an article about the H3H3 Matt Haas case titled "Popular Pickup Artist Comedian Loses Huge Lawsuit Against YouTubers That Mocked Him." Now, how do I know this is clickbait? Well, for one, they label him as a comedian, which is absolutely insulting to actual comedians because, let's be honest, nothing he does is actually funny. His videos are pretty cringeworthy and depressing, but that's beside the point. And two, they claim that Ethan and Hila mocked Matt, which is simply not true, and anybody that watched the video can tell you this. Yeah, sure, they throw a few little playful jabs at him, but the video in question is not even that mean, honestly. And they even acknowledge that they like the guy's content in the video, so it's not made out of sort of a malicious intent. It isn't. It's purely made to make fun of something that is pretty cringy, and that's all that it is. Now, I wouldn't be talking about this if it weren't for this little blurb that really kind of got under my skin, and I'm going to read it to you all right now. Now is a good time to point out that the couple behind the H3H3 channel aren't necessarily angels. They racked up millions of YouTube subscribers by making fun of other YouTubers and generally stirring up shit. And in terms of subscriber base, the H3H3 couple certainly comes off as a big bully. H3H3 has 4.6 million subscribers, while Matt has 170,000. With their strong following, the H3H3 couple also raised over $100,000 in crowdfunding for their defense. Even big bullies enjoy the benefits of the First Amendment, though. Ah, Jesus Christ. The amount of bullshit in that statement is, it's utterly astounding, and I'm going to point it out. Okay, first of all, they accuse Ethan and Hila of stirring up shit, which is really funny and ironic considering Gizmodo was essentially built off of a blog network that was notorious for bullying other people for years and essentially stirring up shit themselves. How do I know this? Well, Gawker Media, which was what this blog network used to be called before it was renamed Gizmodo Media, they revealed private information, they leaked private information, aka Hulk Hogan posting the sex tape, which was not in the public interest, and then when he sued them for it, they published another tape of him saying the N-word, which is what got him fired from WWE. Yeah, really, really slimy tactic. They've outed others as being gay. They outed Peter Thiel, who ironically bankrolled the Hulk Hogan Gawker lawsuit, and they also outed Condé Nast executive David Geithner for being a gay escort. No, I am not kidding. They actually did that. And they doxed people. They doxed Violent Acres, the infamous Reddit troll that moderated the subreddit Jailbait. Yeah. And there's all sorts of other unethical shit that Gawker has done that I'm not even going to list in this video. You can look up the history of Gawker Media and you can find this, so Gizmodo, of all sites, should be the last entity calling out anyone for stirring up shit. Does anyone that works for the Gizmodo Media Group have any semblance of self-awareness? I want to assume that most of the people that work there aren't stupid, but it was born from the remnants of Gawker, so they likely are stupid. Also, they tried to call them out for being big bullies because of their subscriber count, because they have 4.6 million. Well, Matt Haas only has 170,000. Which is stupid because you cannot equate criticism to bullying. Again, the video itself wasn't even that particularly mean. They weren't bullying the guy. And even if they were being mean, even if they were being vicious, criticism is not bullying. It's not. And all it does is that it cheapens the word. If you're ever wondering why the words triggered and harassment have become such a joke in recent years, it's because people have overused it so much to basically describe minor and insignificant bullshit, to try and victimize themselves, that people take it less seriously. People see it as a joke. And stuff like this, equating criticism to bullying, essentially makes the word meaningless. It turns it into a joke. And again, you can't do that. That's like equating criticism to harassment. It's on that level of stupid, right? But apparently we live in this PC culture where you can't criticize anything these days because you'll either be labeled as a bully, a Nazi, an anti-feminist, or you'll be outright sued. So, yeah, right? But again, criticism is bullying, guys. Despite the fact that they weren't bullying him and nothing in that video indicates that they were. So, I don't know what the fuck he was trying to insinuate by saying that. Oh, and they raised over $100,000 in crowdfunding for their legal fees. Even saying, even condescendingly states, even big bullies enjoy the benefits of the First Amendment, though. Well, yeah, big bullies enjoy the benefit of the First Amendment. And do you know why? This is because, criticism falls under fair use. It doesn't matter if it's criticism or bullying. If you're criticizing someone, it's still fair use. You still have the right to say what you want to. So, of course, yeah, it would be benefiting the First Amendment. Oh, God. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be expecting much from Gizmodo, because, all the Gizmodo and all the other blogs under them are completely cancerous and publish just bullshit clickbait articles that essentially equate to nothing more than hit pieces. And this is the prime definition of a hit piece. But it's just so pointless. But then again, hey, if you can put H3H3 Productions in the title, you can put Matt Haas in the title, you can put them in the thumbnail, hey, people know who these people are, so, hopefully they'll see it and they'll click on it, right? Even though it's completely pointless, and honestly, the person that wrote the article completely missed the point of the video. It's honestly clear when you read this bullshit that they missed the point. But he obviously didn't care, and certainly Gizmodo doesn't care. Just put up another hit piece to try and disparage YouTubers because, they're kicking our ass in terms of relevancy these days, and the online media is slowly dying anyway, so fuck it, why not, right? It's just... This annoying opinion insertion has no place in an article talking about a legal case. Is it really that hard to just talk about the case and just leave it at that and say, yeah, H3H3 won, this is the reason why Matt Haas sued, blah, 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 blah. Why do you have to insert your opinion? It's just as annoying as Chris Cabin from Collider inserting his opinion in the weekend box office articles. It seriously has no place. It's fucking stupid. But then again, it's Gizmodo. Were you expecting anything different? I've been wanting to call out this guy for a while. I have found, in my opinion, one of the biggest clickbaiters on YouTube. Yes, even worse than Onision, even worse than Jake Paul, even worse than Lispy Jimmy, and even worse than Moros. He's a guy by the name of Film God, and let me tell you, this guy is the clickbait master. And how is he clickbaiting, you may ask? Well, I'm going to show you some examples of how deceptive this guy is when it comes to clickbait. The first video that I'm going to talk about is John Campea rants about Marvel and DC fanboys again. Oh boy, I'm just salivating. I wonder what this video is about.
There is an embarrassing element to that. There's an embarrassment to it. 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 They get their sense of worth and sense of purpose and sense of mission, not just loving the thing they love, but by purposely going out and try to take away and steal the joy.
What the fuck? How the fuck do you fuck this up? How do you screw this panic button?
Oh boy.
They're telling me Ben Affleck, make no mistake, he does want out. Batman, he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. Ooh. Vicious and toxic and mean. It's like, we are just talking about movies, right? Like,
for sure. He's been sad, Affleck. He has not been happy about this. And
I think he's drinking again.
Well, look, I can't speculate on that. I don't know. But what I will say is that the guy...
The agenda this video tries to push is that John Campea is a Marvel fanboy that gets paid off to bash DC films, essentially calling his credibility as a critic into question. The only problem I have with this is the fact that none of it's actually true. If John Campea is such a Marvel fanboy, then please explain to me why he doesn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., why he didn't like Iron Man 2, and was one of the few people to not like Jessica Jones. And if he's such a Marvel fanboy, then please explain to me why he regularly hails Man of Steel as a masterpiece, and why he was one of the few people to actually like Batman v Superman. And it's not like these opinions have been hidden either. These are opinions that have been publicly known for a while now. All it takes is just a few seconds of research and you can find this. In fact, he actually talks about this in a video titled Grace Randolph and the Phantom Anti-DC Agenda. I'll leave a link to the video in the description down below so you can watch it. So either you weren't aware of this and simply made a big mistake, or you were aware of this and deceptively edited the clips anyway to make Campea look like a fanboy, to make him look like a corporate shill that takes bribe money from Disney to bash DC. Now that's one of the things I don't like about Film Gob. He will take clips from other YouTube movie channels, edit them down, completely remove any sort of context in an attempt to make it as deceptive as possible. And I just find that to be stupid and completely slimy. Now, if this were just one video, then that might be one thing, but there are multiple videos on this channel that are exactly like this. Case in point, here's a video titled Rotten Tomatoes Conspiracy, Red Letter Media versus Chris Stuckman.
Annabelle Creation is...
And let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes just a little bit.
There's a weird thing where for about 2 weeks before the movie came out, it sat at 100%, 16 reviews, and they were all positive, and that was the only reviews. And then it was like a second embargo lifted, and immediately that started to drop. Yeah. But for 2 straight weeks, bam, 100%. But we were wondering why there would be an embargo on some reviews and not others.
But really, I haven't seen too many movies that were screened for select critics and then allowed their reviews to be posted.
So this is a weird and unique and unprecedented situation where there's just these handful of reviews for several weeks before the movie comes out that just so happen to all be positive. It's weird and it's suspect and we don't have any answers. It's just something that we noticed.
The biggest problem that I have with this video is the title. Nothing in this video indicates that RLM and Chris Stuckman are actually beefing. All the video is RLM wondering why a certain batch of reviews for Annabelle Creation were published 2 weeks before release, and then another batch of reviews were published a few days before the release. And then Chris Stuckman goes into the comments and explains why that's the case, and he even acknowledges that he's a huge fan of RLM. That's literally all the video is. There's no drama, there's no conflict, there's no anything. And what makes it even more ridiculous is the fact that RLM didn't even use the word conspiracy in the clips that you showcased. So why the fuck is it even in the title? Oh right, because it'll get you more clicks. Because let's be honest, Rotten Tomatoes is the punching bag when it comes to movie reviews these days, despite the fact that all they do is collect reviews from other critics. There's no evidence to prove that RLM or Chris Stuckman are beefing. In fact, Chris Stuckman has expressed on numerous occasions that he's a huge fan of RLM. Hell, when he did his Star Wars The Force Awakens explained review, he did it in the style of Mr. Plinkett. Again, this can be found if you do a few seconds of research. This is stupid. This is so stupid. This is not just stupid, this is profoundly stupid. This is a controversy. This is a controversy that someone is desperately trying to make into a controversy. This is the kind of shit that Grace Randolph would do. And that's another problem I have with Film Gob. Very often, he doesn't even have any evidence to back up his ridiculous claims that the various YouTube movie channels are beefing with one another. And that causes a lot of misinformation to be spread because people are actually gullible enough to believe that RLM and Chris Stuckman are actually beefing. If you actually believe that, then I'm sorry to say and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that is not the case at all. And this is a little trick that I like to call perception of conflict. It's when you make the audience believe that there's a conflict between two people or a group of people and make it just convincing enough for people to actually believe. It's a very slimy tactic in my book, but it's also a very smart one because it clearly gets a lot of views, despite the fact it's completely misleading and completely deceptive. YouTube is a numbers game, and you gotta do whatever you gotta do in order to get those clicks, right? And I'm pretty sure you're wondering why. Okay, if there's no evidence to prove that RLM and Chris Stuckman are beefing, then why are people going around saying that this is the case? We have to remember that this is the internet, and people will blindly believe anything, even when there's no evidence to prove that the things they're believing are actually true. Do you require more evidence? Do you require more proof? Okay, here's another video titled Rogue One Review, Collider versus Red Letter Media versus IGN versus Schmoes versus Screen Junkies. Holy shit! The clickbait is strong with this one.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Stoklasa. I'm the founder of Red Letter Media, which is a movie review site dedicated to all things geek and pop culture.
And I'm Jay Bauman. I co-host an exclusive online movie review series called Half in the Bag.
I am Rich Evans, and I'm a giant pile of horseshit.
It's a Star Wars Special Spectacular. We went to the Rogue One premiere. Then, we talk about our favorite Star Wars toys. After that, we're playing classic Star Wars games. All Star Wars, all day.
Hey guys, it's Joe and Andy from Honest Trailers, and we have a treat for you. Let's touch tips.
They actually gave us the rights. They allowed us to do a full hour of Star Wars.
First of all, I want to thank our sponsor, Gillette. They have Star Wars razors because apparently, even when you grow up, you still don't have to grow up. These are in stores now to tie in with Rogue One.
Yes, we should note, full disclosure, that we were invited to an official early screening of Rogue One by an official at Disney.
All of us here at the table, except Jeremy, went to the premiere of Rogue One this past weekend, and what an experience. And let's get to the social media stuff here in just a second. We thought we'd just share a couple quick pictures with you. We got dolled up, we took the limo to go down, and there's Dennis and Perry and Wendy there in front of the same place where you just saw the cast. This was down at the red carpet. Ran into Kevin Feige down there. If you can't notice, that's a baby Groot hat that Kevin is wearing. Cool. Kevin, of course, is the president of Marvel Studios, so we got to hang out for a little bit.
So Terry, you actually went and saw Rogue One already. You went to the premiere.
I did go to the premiere. So this is why I said that I'm spoiled. I went to the Force Awakens premiere last year too. I know. Living that good life down in LA. What was funny, I've seen it twice already. I also went to a screening on the Disney lot and
For everything Star Wars, keep it here at IGN, and may the Force be with you.
I know what that is!
Oh yes, the critics who like Rogue One are a bunch of paid Disney shills. It's totally not a ridiculous and overused argument that has no merit whatsoever. No siree. Is this real? Is any of this real? Is this some kind of elaborate joke? Because I'm having a hard time believing any of this is real. What's so funny about Film Gob and the rest of the alternative nerd community is that they'll constantly harp on critics and fans for blindly worshipping big companies and franchises, yet they are blindly worshipping what RLM is saying and using a satirical podcast as some sort of evidence that RLM is exposing every YouTube movie critic. And nobody thinks for themselves, nobody forms their own opinion. In their eyes, if RLM said it, it's true. And if you disagree with us, then you're a corporate shill. Listen and obey, bitches. You guys realize you're hypocrites, right? Do you realize you're just as bad as the people you criticize, if not worse? Getting back to the point at hand, this tells me nothing. Where's the evidence? Where is the proof that all of these YouTube movie critics are supposedly beefing with each other, that there's supposedly a conflict? Where is it? Because I certainly don't see any. There's nothing there. Literally, the entire video are clips of people reviewing Rogue One, of critics reviewing Rogue One, and RLM mocking them. Because Rogue One is a Star Wars movie, and Star Wars movies typically have a lot of hype behind them. That's literally it. That's the entire video. That's literally it. But there's no evidence to prove that this is the case. Please, for the love of God, if anyone has any evidence proving that this is the case, let me know and I'll retract my claims, because I could be wrong, but I have a funny feeling that there's no evidence to prove that any of this is the case, and what is being presented is nothing more than a bunch of manufactured bullshit that is deliberately trying to deceive people so that they'll click. But clearly, this clickbait shit works because this video has over 134,000 views. Dear God, I think I just died a little bit inside. Oh God. Look, I understand there's different strokes for different folks, but I have a hard time understanding how 134,000 people could find this entertaining. If you find this entertaining, please let me know, because I just don't see it. It's obvious that Film Gob is trying to be the Crocat of movies, but the difference is Crocat is actually entertaining. This is cancer on top of cancer on top of cancer. Misleading, deceptive clickbait? Taking clips from other popular YouTube movie channels, deceptively editing them, and removing any sort of context to push an agenda, and labeling anyone who likes the things he doesn't like as corporate shills. Dear God, this is entertainment in 2017, folks. This is some A+ quality content we've got here, folks. This is fucking fantastic. Seriously, can we just skip to the final example so we can be done with this?
Geek Crate has sent us their 2017 Superhero Edition crate, which is limited edition.
And exclusive.
It's very exclusive.
Yes.
But still in the box it was delivered in.
We have here our Geek Crate. And as you can see, this comes in an authentic crate.
They weren't making it up.
No, that's an actual crate.
Let's just get into this.
Yeah. It comes in this wooden crate, which I'm going to unlatch so we can get a look.
He is unlatching the crate. I think the crate, by the way, is awesome in its own right.
A crate. It's an actual crate.
It's a good-sized crate, by the way. You can use this crate for other things when you...
This is a $5,000...
That's pretty cool. That one's cool.
A Batman, a wallet.
Captain Phasma, Black Series. Black Series.
Very cruel.
Oh, look at that. So nice. This is very cool.
Very cruel.
One of my personal dream kits I've always wanted. This is the Lego Star Wars Death Star. Now this thing goes for $500. Man, this is just gonna keep going. I'm gonna, for the next few minutes, just take bags out of this box.
Unbox this Star Wars The Force Awakens Battle Action Millennium Falcon.
All right, let's give it up for the Falcon!
Woo! Yes! Yes!
The Millennium Falcon, I'm familiar with it.
You get it, you guys? You get it? If you unbox toys, especially based on franchises you love, then you're a corporate shill. Oh wow, hey, since we're going by that logic, these Star Wars BB-8 headphones that I bought the other day with my own money, that totally makes me a corporate shill. You know, these Star Wars toys that I have right here that are just sitting on my desk, totally makes me a corporate shill, you know, right? And hey, I have this Doctor Strange Funko Pop right here that I got as a Christmas gift from Eric, aka Kinraiku. This totally makes me a corporate shill. I'm totally being paid off by Disney, you guys. And hey, Eric's a corporate shill for getting me the gift. This totally makes me a shill. Because, you know the mantra these days with the alternative nerd fandom, everyone who disagrees with us, everyone who likes what we don't like, is a corporate shill. These guys are essentially the nerd version of Anita Sarkeesian, and no, I do not feel bad for saying that because they're on the same level as the kind of people that say everything is racist, everything is sexist, and everything is misogynist. I want to die. These videos, this clickbait bullshit makes me want to kill myself. I should honestly just drink bleach and shoot myself in the head simultaneously and just be done with it. Look. I could go into great detail about how stupid and misleading this video is, but I think at this point, you guys get the point. Film Gob, and I'm talking to you directly here. Are you so desperate for drama? Are you so desperate for any sort of attention that you're willing to completely lie to the audience and manufacture some bullshit conflict where there is none? Look, if you want to make videos poking fun at other YouTube movie channels and you want to make montages and you want to shitpost, that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. But don't lie, don't clickbait, because people will eventually catch on to what you are doing and they will call you out for doing it. People like me in this instance. Now, in the pursuit of all things being fair, it's not just desperate attention seekers that do this stuff. Even YouTubers I genuinely like are guilty of doing the same thing. Case in point, Colleen Ballinger. But most of you know her as the Miranda Sins. Now, why would I be going after Colleen Ballinger, or Colleen Ballinger, whatever? Well, she engaged in this deceptive form of clickbait, where she made a video saying, hey, big announcement, watch this, I got a big announcement. And guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? If you can't guess what it is, I'm going to show you right now.
What's up guys, I'm Colleen, and today I'm going to talk about something that has been on my mind for a very long time. It's been bugging me for years. The reason I'm making this video is to see if any of you guys feel the same way as me, and to see if any of you can give me answers to the many questions that I have regarding this subject. So when you're done watching this video, please leave a comment below, and also make sure to subscribe and push the like button. I want to see if we can get this video to 50,000 likes. Can you guys do it? I believe in you. So the question I've been dying to ask you guys is, why do news reporters talk like this? Reports are suddenly coming in today that all news reporters talk with the strangest accent I've ever heard.
Now, some people will argue that the title is not clickbait because it has the word news in the title, but take another look at the title. It's called Big News in My Life, all capital letters and with an exclamation mark. Now, what this is meant to do is to capture your attention so you'll click. Now, a title like that would imply Colleen has some big update to inform you guys about regarding either her channel or her life in general, but it's not a channel update video, and it's not a life update video. It's a video about why news reporters talk so funny. Now, if the video was titled, Why Do News Reporters Talk So Funny, I wouldn't have a problem. But the video is Big News in My Life, and the title is not representative of what the video is about. Seriously, if you don't believe me, this is what the video is actually about. This is all that it's about.
Reports say that the line at Chipotle will be out the door during the lunchtime rush. Devastation and fear sets in for the current customers as they realize that guacamole is extra.
Yeah, that's literally all the video is about. I'm not even joking. Where in the fuck does a title like this representative of what the video is about? I don't get it. I don't understand why you would even need to do this. You have over 5.1 million subscribers, people love and adore you, you're a worldwide phenomenon, you make more money than most of us will ever see in our lifetime, you have a show on Netflix, you have an incredibly successful character in Miranda Sins, and if you look in the sidebar, look at how many views her videos generate, so it's not exactly like she's hurting for views, she's not bleeding like subscribers or viewership. She's doing pretty well for herself, so I don't understand why she would even need to engage in this clickbait bullshit. That would be like if I uploaded a video titled Super Awesome Channel Update, but instead of a channel update video, it's you reposted in the wrong neighborhood. That would be ridiculous, right? But it would get me a lot of views. This is the very definition of clickbait. It fits the criteria perfectly. And not only that, it's deceptive and misleading because the title of the video is not representative of what the video is actually about. And Colleen, you view your subscribers as your family, so why the hell would you think lying to your family would be a good idea? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And for fans of Colleen Ballinger, I'm not hating on her. I'm not attacking her. I don't hate her at all. I genuinely like her content. I do. She seems like a good person. I just don't like deceptive clickbait, especially when it's from YouTubers I genuinely like. And even though clickbait is one of the many cancers of the internet, I can't deny its effectiveness. Look how many views this video has. Yeah, just take a look at that shit right there. Excuse me for a second. We close out our journey in the wonderful world of clickbait by talking about the onion boy himself, Onision, and I have truly saved the best for last. Now, a few months ago, Onision made a video which he later deleted, where he criticized those who decide to put other YouTubers' names in the title. He did a very similar thing back in 2011 where he made a video called Hit Leeches doing this exact same thing. It was basically like this. People who put other YouTubers' names in the title are hit leeches. I'm not going to be negative anymore, you guys. I'm going to be positive, and that's the direction my channel is going in. I'm totally not going to be negative, you guys. I want to be positive. Did he stay true to that promise? Fuck no. Because everybody knows Onision is a lying, manipulative cunt. Literally, a few days later, he made this video.
When I saw this video, I was like, yo, Hila, look how stupid this is. We need to talk about it. And she looks at me and she goes, well, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. And I was like, oh,
yeah, girl, like, guys deserve 3 seats on a bus. They should be able to air out their balls when it inconveniences other people. I mean, dudes, right? Come on, H3. What do you got, bowling balls for balls? You just never shave your lower region so it just like is a giant bush that pushes your legs apart?
like this. They sit like this, and God bless them, good for them. I have here. I can't, it smushed my jaw.
Oh, really? You're doing it right now in front of us. Clearly, you are capable.
I gotta sit like this.
I agree with that, okay?
That makes no sense. You don't have to sit like that, okay? You are no doubt averagely endowed, because that is the definition of average. You appear to be an average person, so how big are your balls, really? Let me demonstrate again. This is weird, this is okay, and yeah, this is how ladies sit. So let's just go ahead and like that. Yeah, see, I'm not taking up too much space. Check out this chair. It's a pretty typical size chair, right? Okay, so how a lot of women sit, so you're not looking at the crease in their pants or up their skirt or whatever they're wearing. This is how probably most guys sit, so you can like just let them rest, maybe stack them on top of each other. And this is how some guys sit, really, like what? You're a fool, man.
Before I start this video, I'm guessing a fair amount of you have heard about the website BuzzFeed. They clickbait a lot on Facebook for the 3 people that actually still use Facebook. BuzzFeed, you are terrible. I see so many videos picking apart all your stuff and people just, you know, they overanalyze it to I'm partially guilty of it in this video. This is terrible.
Oh no, cis white male's upset. I am also a cis white man, and I find your attempt to make yourself look like a victim and other men look like a victim hilarious. They made a reference to dudes who factually, needlessly spread their legs, taking up too much space, and disgustingly airing out their balls. Or is it that we're more offended by the idea of women doing the same thing? Is that really so offensive, women spreading their legs to air out their vaginas? Why are only men supposed to do this, and why are we forcing women to portray a certain image, but men don't have to also follow the same decent standard? And you guys, I'm an egalitarian, and I think if people are gonna make fun of women, then men should be able to be made fun of too. Yet here we have sissy little white boy who's clearly super duper upset and has his feelings hurt because finally women said something back.
The overgeneralizing, like, meninists are cancer, extreme feminists are cancer. This is like super AIDS.
In that deleted video, Greg said he wouldn't put other YouTubers in the title anymore. And then a few days later, he does the complete opposite and puts other YouTubers' names in the title. This just goes to prove that you can't trust anything Greg says because it's absolute bullshit. And by the way, H3H3 and Pyrocynical were not making fun of manspreading because they're against women. They were making fun of manspreading because it's a stupid thing to be upset about. It is so silly, minor and insignificant in the grand scheme of things that it's not even worth being upset about. And the women that were parroting it have never gone through any struggles or hardships in their lives. They never had to face any real problems. Manspreading is essentially the very definition of first world problems. BuzzFeed as a whole is the personification of first world problems. And they were making fun of these women getting upset because a man decided to spread their legs. It's just stupid. And the fact that you get triggered because H3H3 and Pyrocynical make fun of manspreading just proves their points to be correct. Oh, and by the way, I just love the title, Manspreading, H3H3 versus Pyrocynical. Brilliant. Fantastic. Mwah! Magnifico, man. It is fantastic. Dear God. Now, why would Greg go after H3H3 and Pyrocynical? That's career suicide. And if you were even going to attempt to do it, you would need to ensure that you do a good job, otherwise you would be the laughingstock of the internet. Make no mistake, it was purely a business decision. Allow me to explain why. Onision used to get a lot of views. He used to be huge on YouTube. I mean, just look at this shit. The guy was controversial. He was a cunt. He was every other bad word you could think of. But he was successful. He used to be very, very successful. And he knew what would draw people in. He knew what people would want to click on. And that was drama and conflict. YouTube thrives off of it. The internet and the world as a whole thrives off of drama and conflict. And he took advantage of this. Even the videos where he exploited the people that he supposedly cared about got a lot of views. Onision was enormously popular. And even if you hate the guy, you cannot deny that he was a phenomenon. Now let's look at the views that he now gets. Like, holy shit, it's insane. It's absolutely insane how much Onision has fallen. Look at the views that he gets now. These are fucking pitiful. Now granted, yes, these are a lot of views, but for a channel that has nearly 2 million subscribers, this is just bad. The subscriber to view ratio is absolutely piss poor. And if you didn't know, Onision is supposedly losing his house, he's supposedly thousands of dollars in debt, and combined with the fact that YouTube is going around demonetizing anything that they deem to be controversial, and let's be honest, Onision is highly controversial, Onision as a channel is just not sustainable anymore, and he is falling off the face of the earth, and H3H3 and Pyrocynical have far usurped him in terms of popularity. In fact, let's actually compare Onision to H3H3 Pyrocynical in terms of views. Okay, so if you look at the views H3H3 gets, it's quite staggering, and they have over 4.7 million subscribers, but their views are in the millions. They typically tend to average about 2 to 4 million views a video. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a little less, but the subscriber to view ratio is very, very good. This is what you would want if you're this big channel, a high subscriber to view ratio. They get a lot of views. It's clear to see. I mean, why wouldn't Greg go after H3H3? Like, just look at it. It's a popular channel. Popular channels, you can clearly see. I mean, it's not because Onision is jealous of H3H3 or Pyrocynical. It certainly isn't that. Okay, let's just go and check out Pyrocynical. Okay, same thing here. His videos get a pretty good amount of views, and he has over 1.8 million subscribers. About the same as Onision. But he generates far more views. Again, this is a very good subscriber to view ratio. This is what you would want if you're a big channel. Do you see why Greg would want to go after H3H3 and Pyrocynical? It's because they're enormously popular, far more popular than him, and he's jealous of their success, and he figured if he made a video calling them out, that he would get a lot of views too. Although it didn't really work, considering it only got 83,000 views. It didn't even crack 100,000 views, so his tactics weren't even successful, but it's obvious why he did them. It's completely obvious. If I was in the position Greg was in right now, I probably would do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. Why wouldn't you do the same thing? I mean, fuck it, more clicks, right? Onision is so desperate for cash to stay afloat that you can't even watch videos on his main channel anymore unless you pay him $5 a month. I really don't know why anyone would want to pay $5 a month to watch Greg's shitty content. And by the way, if you're thinking about doing it, don't. Take that $5 and burn it. Or use it as toilet paper to wipe your ass with. That would be a far better use of $5 than giving it to Onion Boy. And if that wasn't bad enough, Onision is so desperate for people to watch his shitty videos that he put his hands up in the air and said, fuck it, I'm not even going to try to hide the fact that I'm blatantly clickbaiting, I'm just going to put it all out there for the entire world to see. Case in point, a video he recently uploaded titled, Watch Before I Delete This Video. This is super funny, you guys. A guest asks if they can use your bathroom, they take a dump in that said bathroom, and then they end up clogging the toilet. And then they start freaking out because they're embarrassed because they clogged someone else's toilet. It's totally not an overused scenario that's been done 1,000 times before. No siree. I really don't understand why this video only has 154,000 views. It really should be in the millions. This is some of the most original content I have ever seen on YouTube.
You disappoint me, b****. I'm gonna fix her mess!
No! This is my problem!
Get the
No, Greg, this is my problem! This is my problem!
They They fight over who gets to clog the toilet, and when she tries to clog the toilet herself, Greg shoots her. I don't understand why this clickbait hasn't worked and why people aren't watching. I don't understand why this isn't reviving Onision's dead channel. This is comedy gold. This is hilarious. This is what comedy in 2017 clearly should be.
Beck, that was a test. That was a test. It's fine. It's fine. You're okay.
What?
Yeah. Well, may as well while she's still warm. There we go, Beck. There we go. You're a good girl, aren't you, Beck? I can't wait to chop you into little pieces.
I would say it's amazing to see how far Onision has fallen in terms of comedy, but that would be implying Onision was funny to begin with. In conclusion, how do we combat clickbait? Well, the best thing that I can advise is that you support the creators that do good work and put the time and effort in to make quality content. YouTube is in a terrible state right now, so this is the best thing that I can advise to make it slightly more tolerable. There are a lot of good content creators that are being screwed over by YouTube right now, while clickbait nonsense is being pushed to the forefront, so they could probably use the support. Clickbait is something that is always going to be there, it's never going to go away. But I do hope this video was helpful when it comes to learning about the different types of clickbait that exist on the internet and how to avoid them. If I can help people not fall for clickbait as much, then I've done something right. And to the channels that do this clickbait bullshit and are thinking about doing it, please don't. Just don't. Look, I know it may seem tempting at first because it gets a lot of views, and I'm not going to deny its effectiveness. It's incredibly effective. The reason why people use clickbait is because it gets a lot of views. I know I've said throughout this video that I don't really understand why people use it, but that was just a ruse. I totally understand why people use it. But in the long term, people will eventually catch on to what you are doing. The viewing audience is smart. They're not stupid, so you don't need to deceive them. And trust me when I say this, clickbait is not something you want to ruin your reputation over. And more importantly, it's against YouTube's terms of service. They highly frown upon people, channels, that use misleading titles and thumbnails, and it's something you can get a community guideline strike over. Trust me, you don't want that. It's not good for anybody. So just don't clickbait. I know that's easier said than done, but please, from a content creator, just don't do it. Just don't do it. YouTube is enough of a dumpster fire as it is. We don't need to add to it. Well, this concludes another Young Hero Rants. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Young Hero, signing out. Deuces, stay frosty and keep it weird. Cue an outro sequence now.